Welcome to Western Wisconsin Journal. I'm Bobbi Pominville and I'm the arts reporter. And today, one of my favorite things to talk about is concerts. And I have invited my friend who does many concerts during the year, but I mean, this is really holiday, kind of prepping for holiday. So welcome to Dr. Kris Tjornehoj.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you're back on the show.
Thank you so much.
We've had several interviews and all of them have been really interesting and fun for me. So she is a UWRF professor in music. We're at the University of Wisconsin right now in River Falls, and I'm really enjoying it. And she is the conductor of the St. Croix Valley Symphony Orchestra. I definitely want to talk about that today. And I do want to tell you, she has her BA from Luther College. She has an MA from University of Minnesota. And she has a
PhD
in music from University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. And, you know, I've always admired you so much for that.
Well, thank you.
And I know you are an expert in elementary music, just like I am.
Yeah, I'm not an expert in anything. I think that's what the PhD teaches you. Honestly, you leave that experience, you leave your dissertation and your orals and your writtens, and you go, I don't know enough. So I think it's a degree that's a pursuit of you need to learn all your life long.
And I love your attitude. I mean, you know, we have crossed paths so many times, and I just really enjoy knowing you. And you are one of my favorite conductors.
Thank you.
I love watching you.
And we actually just had an opportunity, didn't we, to collaborate?
We did a big concert here. Well, you did a huge concert with many different opportunities to hear different styles of music. And I was singing in an original composition by Charles Giffen.
Right.
You were conducting the orchestra. And you know what? That's always been a love of mine, to sing with an orchestra.
Sure.
And I don't get to do it a whole lot, but yeah, occasionally. But once at St. Olaf really got me going on orchestra and music and singing, and that was the Bach St. Matthew Passion.
I bet you'll never forget it.
And to this day, I love it.
That's fantastic.
Well, anyway, we should really get to our questions. Thanks again for coming back on Western Wisconsin Journal, so we can hear all about your upcoming concerts at the university and possibly other venues. I know you're going to talk about that. And I know today you had a coffee concert. Do you want to talk about that series a little?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I am in charge of they call it the Frances Kohler Coffee Concert Series. And the name Frances Kohler is a woman who actually attended UW River Falls. Her name is Frances McNamara. Oddly enough, I grew up with her in the same town in New Richmond, Wisconsin. And so Frances Kohler Coffee Concert Series is named after her. She had an untimely death, and her piano duet partner's name is Mary Ella Jerome. And so the series is founded by Mary Ella from the Jerome family in Barron, Wisconsin, who they were piano duet partners. And so she did this in honor of her dear friend. And so oddly enough, today's concert, two of her sisters came, one from Madison and one from Hopkins. So it really is a family affair, and it's just like a private school because people just take care of each other and they support each other, and heritage continues through the financial support that allows for this coffee concert series to actually function.
And it is so popular. Many of my friends come. I have come. You have drawn so many people Fridays at noon.
It's an odd time, and it works.
It works well.
And we have a number of international guests because I have great connections with friends who come through. So people know about this series from coast to coast and abroad. And we're always collaborating. Like, I know who will be traveling next fall and who will be here a year from spring. And it's just my honor and my joy to present this for the people.
Well, do you want to talk about when the next one is?
Sure. The next one is next week. So we have Mark Billy. I'm sorry, we have Thanksgiving next week, so it's going to be the week after. So that would be the first week of December on Friday at noon. Mark Billy, who sings at Bethel Lutheran Church and is also a part of the Minnesota Opera. And he is from Oklahoma, studied in Oklahoma. He will be singing, and his accompanist and the other soloist is Dennis Iftenston, who's from Russia. And he's an absolutely amazing musician. They both are. And then it's followed by Four Voices, who performed at the Phipps Center for the Arts.
Oh, yes.
And they are doing a program here December as well. So we've got, I believe it's the 3rd and the 10th.
I have heard him sing on my phone because I listen to the service.
Ah, there you go.
And I've been doing that for, well, half a year or more.
Sure.
But anyway, great. I didn't know the names. Thank you. I do like to keep, in contact with vocalists around here. Shall we move on?
Sure.
What is scheduled for the St. Croix Valley Symphony Orchestra? And I'm wondering if you're performing again in November, and I know you are in December.
Yes. Well, we are toward the end of November, so there is nothing else scheduled for us in November with Thanksgiving coming. But what we have going in December for the St. Croix Valley Symphony Orchestra is a concert on Sunday afternoon, December 12th at 4 p.m. at Shepherd of the Valley Lutheran Church in Afton, Minnesota. Free concert. And this one, they're free. And this one features, Andrea Stern, who is a harpist who often subs with the Minnesota Orchestra. She will be playing a solo and then playing with the orchestra because so many Christmas things have great harp parts. It's wonderful. That will include the Tchaikovsky Waltz. She will be doing a solo of I Wonder as I Wander. On there, we have the Leroy Anderson favorites, of course, Sleigh Ride and Christmas Festival. And then some choral works and choral solos. And it's really quite we call it an extravaganza in it, and it usually lives up to it. And we get a full house capacity and set up. Now we are all ready to set up cameras and screens, and it will be live streamed as well. So that will be at 4 o'clock on December 12th.
Wonderful. Oh, what a great program. That's one thing I want to compliment you on. Your programming, and I've heard it many times, whether it's just orchestra or a mixture of vocalists or choral or whatever, your programming is outstanding, Kris.
Thank you. I owe that to my dad.
Really?
He was a vocalist.
Yes.
And sang in a church choir his entire life. And oh my goodness, nobody could do Danny Boy any better. And my dad was very vocal to me as I accompanied him about what your responsibilities are as a musician and never forget your audience.
Yes.
And so I am quite respectful of energy, time, emotion, length. And I really try to have, I guess my goal is everyone should leave liking something, loving something, and maybe being interested on a different level of a different kind of genre of music.
Yes, and even I need to learn about different music, like contemporary. May not be my favorite, but I try to go there. I try to keep an open mind. I'm getting a little more into opera now because there's some things in the Valley.
Yes,
and
there are.
You've been involved with that.
I have.
So I thank you for bringing that too.
You're welcome.
I do need an interview on that subject too.
Well, there's a performer that's coming here for that December 12th concert from London. And his name is Peter Shepard Scarvard. And he is a brilliant violinist who just about every program that he does live, he will do something with historical integrity, often changing either the violin or the bow to match the period of the music that was composed. Needless to say, he has access to the Library of Congress and violins from all over the place. The Royal College of Music, he curates from the museum there. And then he will be playing he will be playing a variety of things, but he'll be playing a solo with the orchestra and then one by himself. And he's amazing, and that is going to be a real coup for that concert.
that's something new then.
Very new.
I've never known you to have violin.
Right. And so he's going to be here. And so what we decided to do is, since he hasn't been able to travel during the pandemic, he emailed and said, can you just create some things for me? I need to play. And so he's going to play on that Christmas concert. And then just a couple days later actually 1 day later, on Monday evening, the 13th, we're going to have a salon concert or a recital at the Rivertown Inn at 5 p.m., complete with wine, cheese, and crackers, and sausages, and lots of snacks for the patrons. That one does cost $25 a person.
Oh,
and
but
so
worth
that's
it. Worth it.
He'll be playing on Ole Bull from Norway, his violin.
I know, lots of pieces by Bull.
And so he will be doing an entire lecture demonstration on the music of Ole Bull, who lived in Stillwater for a very short period of time before he moved to Madison when he had immigrated. So he spent the pandemic with his wife, who's a writer, doing the research on Ole Bull. And so this will be his first lecture demonstration performance. And so we're doing it all.
I'm so there because growing up, my dad sung from the Sons of Norway. It was a 12-voice men's group, and I accompanied it for 2 years. But anyway, he sang in Norwegian, and I picked it up from him. Well, and grandma's too, because I know you have some background there.
I do.
But anyway, I have a lot of those pieces in that book.
Well, you'll hear some of them.
Wow. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Isn't that fun?
Today, because then I can get scheduled right.
Yes.
Thank you. How exciting for me. Now, I was going to ask you about, you just told me, Shepherd of the Valley. Now, you have another concert somewhere else.
We do. So the St. Croix Valley Symphony Orchestra has another concert, and it is in Stillwater.
Yes.
And so we will be there, and we'll feature Phil Cadidlo, who's kind of another regional name, on piano. And then the singer, Solveig, who's going to be featured with the St. Croix Opera.
Yes, I know who that is.
She will be the featured singer at our concert a week later, doing an aria, Rejoice, from the Messiah.
Yes, of course.
Of course, and some of her other favorite holiday things with the Trinity Choir and Carol Carver, who organizes and is the organist at Trinity Lutheran.
I know who she is.
So we're collaborating. That's an awful lot of lunches.
Goodness. I know it, but
all of our meetings are over lunch, so we've got great opportunities.
It's just good planning. That's what
it's very good planning.
But that really interests me too. I mean, it's like I'm there. So I just want to be at all these concerts.
They're different.
You do.
And they're all different.
They're all wonderful.
Yeah, they're all different, and they all hopefully treat the audiences differently and the personalities differently, and feature the soloists so they can shine.
Yes, and I'm a vocal major, so I definitely want to be there, and I want to hear her technique and everything else. And, anyone that can sing Rejoice from Messiah, I admire that person a lot.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, now, what have we missed? Because I'm having such fun talking to you.
Well, we have one more kind of big thing. And it's an interesting thing to describe, because I think one of the gifts of the pandemic is that I am looking at every performance as an event and a project that touches people and gives somebody an opportunity to learn, to grow, and for the musicians to develop. And I spend a lot of time thinking about that and the repertoire and trying to introduce some new things, some old. And this is actually kind of funny, because our next concert for our symphony band is December 9th here at the University of Wisconsin River Falls. And I know, as much as we love all the overtones of the orchestra and the choir and the harp and the piano and all the things that make, sort of the traditional Christmas festival stuff, well, this band is actually very good and features now some retired music teachers who actually take this class as a class and have joined the band, passed the audition. And some of these people, because some are from Hudson, some are from River Falls.
I can just imagine.
It includes John Potter now from the Phipps Center, the former director of the Phipps Center. He's now in this band.
And he's playing trumpet or something.
Absolutely, and doing fantastic.
Oh, my
so
goodness,
this
I can't
band
believe it.
is about somewhere anywhere between about 50, 55 pieces. And so this band we're bringing over a composer from Spain.
Oh, my.
And this composer I met 3 years ago at a conference, WASB, and his name is Javier Perez Garrido.
Wow.
And he's coming in for a week's residency to work with students, to work with composers, any composers who want to get together with him.
Yes.
And he is a brilliant, brilliant musician, clarinetist, but he's coming over as a composer, and we will be doing one of his works, and we'll be doing the United States premiere called Last Day of the Dinosaur.
Oh, I love the title.
And it is as much like a Star Wars type John Williams piece as you'd ever have. So the first half of the program is all Christmas, and the second half, the dinosaur comes to town. So it's going to be hilarious.
Yes.
And anybody who plays video games or likes John Williams movies, or I don't mean to generalize, but how do I say action? Action. This is absolutely, the visualizations that you get out of this piece of music are just a delight.
And I'm thinking about Spanish music. I mean, the rhythms are just so intricate. And I'm wondering, is he going to put that into the Star Wars style music?
He does. There's no doubt. We even do a little body percussion. Yep. We aren't doing any flamenco dancing, but, maybe in my next life. I sure appreciate it.
Yeah,
They're so skilled.
I'm getting this image now, of, and I do admire the Spanish composers so much because of those rhythms. They're so difficult to play.
They are difficult. And another thing about the Spanish societies, they really love their music.
Oh, I bet.
And they support their music. And they have these associations where when you are born, they choose and often get a membership, even for their children. So they are intergenerational. And again, they are the backbone of society, and people support each other. It's really delightful.
And it's so important for your audience and the audiences to hear different styles of music. And I think that's even something that I like to expose elementary students to, because they would be so surprised and blown away by the different sounds. And I'm thinking about drums and all that, and that's the best programming again.
Well, I think they told me that concert has 70 pieces of percussion on the stage.
What?
And including an organ and a piano. So we're as condensed, and there's little X's on the floor already, just like you would have for a play. So I don't know if we forgot anything. I hope not.
Oh, my word. I can't believe you're that far along.
We are.
So are you already rehearsing for some of these things?
Absolutely. Everything. We're well along.
And so you're doing band and orchestra.
Correct.
So you've got a lot on your plate.
It's just a delight.
And then the way you get into your music, when you're conducting and all that, it's just fun to watch.
Thank you.
I think that would be another good one for my schedule. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do it all, but I'm certainly going to try.
Well, I appreciate you even caring about all these things and collaborating and being a part of the concerts. I
just love to talk to you about all these things because, being retired, you don't hear all of this anymore. So, and band, I was in band. I tried the violin. It wasn't difficult. My instrument, though.
Well, a lot of these things, about the only place you can find them are either on my website, KrisTjornehoj.com, or the UWRF, or Facebook pages. So the Facebook pages are pretty active, but it's a different day and age in communication. You would think with electronic communication that we would all know what's going on. I think it's more difficult because the newspaper ads don't follow all these things. And it used to be that you took an ad out in the newspaper and everyone saw it. And so communicating is difficult. I
become
really
very
should have a
difficult.
mailing list or an email list and where people could connect, and because there's lots. But we always have postcards around, and I try to hit Kanokis with posters and various things, but you can always call me.
Yeah, because one time you told me that your information doesn't always make it to Hudson.
Not always. So I try to put
we have to
posters
get that
up
out.
and flyers, and it's not easy. It's
It
harder to
isn't.
communicate today than it was before, when everyone focused on the print media.
Definitely, and I know it's hard to get the word out on a lot of things, but you're speaking about a problem that's come up, and also during COVID, so many problems with that. How to get the people out to the concert, and most things are masked right now, and I know the FIPS is having a lot of trouble with that.
That's what I understand.
Yes.
So one thing that we did during COVID is we kept things going by starting this YouTube channel at UW River Falls. And it's through the music department.
Right.
And so we have our own YouTube channel. And so what we started doing is I know we produced at least 42 concerts.
Okay.
And last year, I think that there were 10 coffee concerts.
Oh, yeah.
And so what we started doing was actually interviews with the composers about the selections. So it's kind of interesting. They've become educational tutorials.
That would be interesting to a lot of people.
Yeah. And so what I'm really hoping is that nursing homes, churches, shut-ins especially, that is actually the demographic I'd love to reach. Well, and even today, when I did a Facebook Live, I just turned my phone on and I went like that. And by the time I was done, I had 100 people watching the concert.
It popped up on my site.
Did it?
Yeah, and I clicked on it. I didn't get to the link, but I'm sure I
Isn't
will
that funny?
manage it sometime.
Isn't that funny?
But no, it popped up today, and I thought I'd love to hear some of that concert.
Isn't that's it's a different
No,
world.
you found another way to get music out and the word out. So
That's the goal, being a music missionary.
That's exactly right. I agree with a lot of things that you do, and I think my philosophy is very similar to yours.
Absolutely.
All right, so do we have anything else we need to go through?
I think that kind of
we get
gets
it all?
us. That gets us for a ways, and I would say that if you are wanting to do something with the orchestra, in the spring we are doing, or actually it's next summer, we're doing a concert at the FIPS. And those tickets are going. So those tickets are for June. And yet, if you don't get your tickets, if you don't do the season tickets, there won't be tickets. But we're doing a featured all-film music with Colleen Ray. She's such a popular artist.
Goodness. That's no wonder it's selling.
Right.
Already.
Already.
I mean, I know we're having a little trouble in December.
Right.
That.
So we're looking to summer already.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
People are going to turn out.
I think so.
They love that kind of thing. I do. I love that kind of style. And of course, she's very popular.
She is.
People come out for her concerts very, very much. So anyway, that's good to know. Next summer, you'll be back at the FIPS.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I think we need to wrap up, Kris. But I know we're going to have you back.
Great. I'll look forward to it.
I really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you, Bobbi.
Thank you so much for coming on the show again. And I want to thank you for watching. I hope you got some ideas to attend some concerts, save some dates, and enjoy music. That's the main thing.
Happy holidays.